Tractate Sanhedrin, page 13. We'll start on page 12b, 10 lines from the bottom of the page. Continue the subject of Ibur Hashana, making a leap year. Here, the word of Shmuel, which we studied yesterday. Gufa amar Shmuel, en me'abrin et Hashana, biyom 30 של אדר, הואיל וראוי לקובעו Nisan. Shmuel tells us that when it's come to the year, making it as a leap year, so obviously we learn that in order to make it a leap year, you take the month of Adar and you make it a double month. So here he says that when the rabbinic court convene and do this 2 months of Adar, so they do it obviously when? The end of the month. So he said, don't do it at the 30 of Adar. Why? Because the 30 of Adar, if you count Adar as 29 days, so the 30 is the first day of the following day, which is the first day of month of Nisan. So the Gemara asks, Ibru Amai, what happened if the Bet Din already did it? They make the 30 days of the month of Adar as the end of the month, a leap year. Amar Ula ein mekadshin et hachodesh. Since each month in those days they have a special ceremony of sanctification, so therefore here by force of circumstance, meaning b'diavad, in a hindsight, the year is already a leap year. However, as far as the making a statement that the rabbinic court used to say here that sanctified the next month, mekudash hu le'adar sheni, it's sanctified for the second month, since it was the time that should be designated as the first day of month of Nisan. So therefore, you don't do that. You just keep it quiet, and therefore the following month you announce that it is Nisan. That's the way Rashi explained to us. Obviously, the Ha'amek Shelah and the Shagat Aryeh and Rabbeinu Yonah and many others challenge that. I hope by the end of the shiur, if we have some time, we'll go and visit more kind of halachot when it's come to this. Just continue first to catch up. So, Kidshu Mai. The Gemara asks a question, what happened if it's already happened? Meaning, they already announced the beginning of the leap year, the second month of Adar. So the whole idea of making the year intercalate, which means the double, the leap year, is that already happened, or because they violated the rule and announced it, therefore it's already abrogated. So they said, Mar Rava batel ha'ibur. Rava said, the whole idea of making it as a leap, as an intercalated way, it's void, because it was basically performed in the month of Nisan. The whole idea of appearance, the Maharsha said, is the core understanding why they do it. Rav Nachman Amar, me'ubar u'mekudash, just the opposite. He said, yes, we don't wish to happen, but under this force of circumstance, it's already intercalated the year, and the month is signified, because the whole idea of rabbinic court, they are independent, and they make their own rules. So since they make it already rules, and they did it, it's already passed. That's the way the Mefarshim, the Maharsha, and many others explain to us. So the Gemara challenged that, and he said, Amar le Rava le Nachman, Michdei Puria, mi Puria le Pischat Latin Yomin Habu. Umi Puria darshir milchot Pesach. That's something we study in Tosefta Megillah and other places. 30 days before Yom Tov, particularly Pesach, since the law of Pesach are broader and large and many, and we are taking the time 30 days in advance to learn the halachot Pesach, so therefore שואלים בהלכות, דתניא, שולחים בהלכות הפסח כל הפסח 30 יום, we study from Purim, which is what? 30 days before Pesach. How long? For 30 days. Why? Because we want to make sure that people know the whole halachot of Pesach in advance. רבן שמעון בן גמליאל אומר 2 שבתות. שמעון גמליאל אומר, he tells us that 2 weeks before Pesach, that is Rosh Chodesh Nisan, 2 weeks in advance. So if you go by the Tanakama, the first one, we're basically waiting 30 days in advance to Pesach. But if we go by Rabban Shimon Gamliel, it's just 2 weeks. If you remember, we study more on that on Psachim, page 7. You see the Khatam Sofer elaborates on this in this sugya. But anyway, it's all the preparation for the Chag HaGeulah, for the time of Pesach. V'chi matei reish yarcha. So what happened is the time of the beginning of the new moon comes. If the rabbinic court will distance the Passover holiday another month by adding another Adar at so late day, the people what? People basically take the whole idea of law of chametz, the prohibition against having leavened bread on Pesach. People take it lightly. Why? Because they feel that the time of Pesach started in incorrect time. Why is that? Because the sages decided to do it in a way of just in a quick way, impetuously, but without order. So therefore we should be careful not do it. So the Gemara said, Amar lei מידע ידיע דשתה מעברתה מחושבנה תליה מילתה. And I think people knows that when it's come to the calculated year, the leap year, people know that it all depends upon the differences we explained several days ago between the counting the solar and the lunar, the sun and the moon year. So therefore, all those, remember we discussed the 11 days, the difference, etc., etc. You have several days in addition. That's the 354 versus 365. So the whole idea of making the spring time the proper time for Pesach, so not to violate the idea of the Torah tells us Shamor et Chodesh Aviv, to celebrate Passover at the proper time, which is what? The springtime. So therefore, even they learn that they make the leap year 2 weeks after Purim, people may say that it is the calculation that did not conclusively engage for the rabbis until now, so they will therefore understand that the true date of Pesach is. So we basically hold that they trusted the Shlichei Beit Hadin, the agent of the rabbinic court deemed credible how far it needs to be and how far and what's the day they can make it a leap year, and therefore we're not concerned about the idea of people taking lightly the mitzvah of keeping Pesach without leavened bread. So if you remember, on page 11b we learn in the Braita that one of the reasons we make the leap year, it's mipnei hatkufa, which means, for example, if you talk about the fall meaning the time of Tishrei, that it's late compared to the time of the moon. So we basically make a leap year a year in advance, and we add the second month of Adar. So it means that the time of Tishrei will be earlier. So now we ask a question, how far we need to wait until we make it a leap year. אמר רב יהודה אמר שמואל, אין מעברים את השנה, אלא אם כן הייתה תקופה חסרה רובה של חודש. He said, since the time of Tishrei it's late, so therefore he said that the rabbinic court make the leap year only if the season of Tammuz, which is the summertime, was lacking its completion for the most of the month of Tishrei. So it means you have here the summer time, the summer season, that it's late, and therefore it happens that the most of the month of Tishrei was passed. So because you have the law of the festival of Sukkot that is started at the 15th day of the month of Tishrei, so it has to be in the equinox in the proper time. So therefore, a month is added to the previous year, which is the second month of Adar, and what happened here, that it consequently caused the summer season to end, and the autumn to begin, an early point of the Jewish calendar. So basically, Sukkot will begin after the time within the season of Tishrei. Let's read it. אמר רב יהודה אמר שמואל הם רואים את השנה אלא אם כן הייתה תקופה חסרה רובה של ראש חודש, which is the counting of 91 days, וכמה רובה של חודש 16 יום, which means that this is 16th day of Tishrei, but if it starts from 17 and onward, so then you make it a leap year. דברי רבי יהודה. This is the statement of Rabbi Yehuda. Page 13, Rabbi Yossi omer 21 yom. Rabbi Yossi disagree, and he said if the summertime will missing, which means that the time of the stav, the time of the fall, happened on 21st day of Tishrei, which means it did not pass 21 days of Tishrei, we do not make the intercalated year, which is the leap year. But if the season begins on 22 days of Tishrei, we can do it, and basically you postpone the festival of Sukkot in 1 month, and the season, the autumn season, will occur in Elul, which is before the Chag. So the source for that, ושניהם מקרא אחד דרשו. Both view came from the same sentence in the Torah. The Torah tells us in the book of Shmot, chapter 34, verse 22, Chag ha'asif tkufat ashana, the festival of ingathering, meaning ingathering the crop, it's the turn of the year. So it means that the festival of ingathering, it's the intermediary days of the Chag HaSukkot, should be in the autumn. Mar savar kulei chag be'inan betkufa chadasha. Rabbi Yehuda hold that we require all of the festival to take place in a new season, which is after the equinox. Umar savar, and Rabbi Yossi hold miktzat chag be'inan betkufa chadasha. You have the requirement only of part of the festival, even 1 day, to make it new season. So basically the year can be a leap year only if the equinox will fall on the 22nd day of Tishrei or afterward. Mar kasavrei, which one hold what? Ikasavrei yom tkufa gomer. If they hold that the day of the equinox concludes the season, which means that the counterpart of preceding season, so therefore, then even belav hachinami, so even if the season of Tammuz is not lacking more than this number of days, the year will need to be a leap year. Leman de amar kulei chag ika, according to Rabbi Yehuda, that he said the entire days of Chol HaMoed, of the intermediary day of the festival, has to be in a new season, which means that all the days is in a new time. Velo the man de amar miktzat chag ita, not according to Rabbi Yossi, that he said that it's enough if we have some of the day of the Chol HaMoed in the new season. So basically whatever we said, it's applied to the previous time. אלא כסברי יום תקופה מתחיל. So they hold that the day of the equinox begins the new season. מייטיבי. יום תקופה גומר דברי רבי יהודה, רבי יוסי אומר יום תקופה מתחיל. Question is, do you go by the previous season, and is basically the day completed the previous season, versus Rabbi Yossi said no, it's the new season. So new season, so basically it's starting anew. And that's not the way Shmuel said. So now ועוד תניא, אין מעברים את השנה אם כן התקופה חסרה רובו של חודש. וכמה רובו של חודש? 16 יום. Which is the new season begins on the 17th day of month of Tishrei. רבי יהודה אומר שתי ידות בחודש. וכמה שתי ידות בחודש? 20 יום. So he holds that it has to be 2/3 of the months. So how much is the 2/3 of the months? So he said that that's 20 days. 20 days, the whole notion is that the equinox will fall in 21st. So basically, Rabbi Yehuda hold that the day of the equinox conclude the season. So the new season will begin on the following day. So it means after the festival of Sukkot, the gathering has ended. Rabbi Yossi Omer mechashvim. He said that we need to calculate it. 16 לפני הפסח מעברים. If the winter season before Pesach continues up to the 16th day of month of Nisan, meaning the season of Nisan start only at the 17th day of Nisan, מעברים. Because then the next season will not occur until the entire חול המועד is over, חול המועד סוכות. 16 לפני החג, but if it starts 16 days, which is up to the 16 days of Tishrei, which is second day of חול המועד סוכות, אין מעברים. Why? Because part of the חול המועד will start in a new season. רבי שמעון אומר, אף 16 לפני החג מעברים, even if you have a situation like that 16 days running to into the month of Tishrei, you can do a leap year. Why? Because you have the entire days of חול המועד start in a new season. אחרים אומרים, basically it's others. We don't. The assumption is that it's Rabbi Meir. That's the way Yad Rama said. אחרים אומרים, מיעוטו. The year is even make a leap year, even the account of a minority of the months. So what exactly the minority means? וכמה מיעוטו? 14, 14 days. So the conclusion is that Kashya, basically comparing the various brighthood, is a difficulty, because one brighter contradicts the others. You have the Rabbi Yehuda that said that you have the entire Chol HaMoed in the new season, and you have the other one that said that at the beginning of the day, the beginning of a new season. So that challenging of Shmuel left question. So some Mefarshim, Rashbam, and Torah Chaim, and other Tosfot Rosh try to say that Kashya is not basically tubta, and therefore there's all kind of ideas of how to resolve it. אמר רב, רבי יהודה אומר שתי ידות בחודש 20 יום. רבי יוסי אומר מחשבים 16 יום לפני פסח מעברים. So Rabbi Yehuda hold that the year must be intercalated if the season of Tammuz is lacking its completion for two parts of the months of Tishrei, which is 20 days. Rabbi Yossi hold that the rabbinic court calculates the season. If the season of Tevet, which is before Pesach, is lacking its completion for 16 days of the months of Nisan, so basically they make the year me'uberet, intercalated. So the Gemara challenged that. It says, Hainu Rabbi Yehuda, because Rabbi Yossi basically hold the same as Rabbi Yehuda, because according to both Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Yossi, you do not make a leap year when you have part of the Chol HaMoed in the new season. So what's the reason that you have this disputation, how many days you need in the summertime to continue the month of Tishrei until you make it intercalanated year? This is the explanation of the Yad Ramah. Yom Tkufa, the Gemara explained, Yom Tkufa Gomer v'Yom Tkufa Matchil Ika Benaihu. The difference between them, it's about the day of the equinox concluded the season, or the day of the equinox begin the season. So that's basically the way that you calculated the last day of Chol HaMoed. אמר מר 16 לפני החג, אין מעברין. So he said 16, the summer of season of Tammuz, which is before the festival of the ingathering, is lacking the completion for 16 days into the month of Tishrei. The rabbinic court not intercalate the year. אלא לרבי יוסי 16 לפני החג הוא דלא. השוויסר ותם ניסר מעברין. ואמר 16 לפני הפסח אין בציר לו, זה לא. אידי ואידי מעברין, ועדתן הרישה 16 לפני הפסח, תננה מ-16 לפני החג. So it means that you wait until the 21 days within the month of Tishrei in order to make it a leap year. That's the idea, לפני החג. רבי שמעון אומר, רב 16 לפני החג מעברין. Rabbi Shimon hold that even if the season before the festival of Sukkot, of ingathering, is lacking its completion for the 16 days of the month of Tishrei, the rabbinic court does intercalate the year. So the Gemara asks, apparently Hainu Tanakama, which means that the same opinion is Tanakama. What's the difference between Rabbi Shimon's opinion and that of the first Tana? Page 13b, Ika benayu Yom Tkufa Matchil ויום תקופה גומר ולה מסיימי. So here the difference between Tanakama and Rabbi Shimon, it's when it's come to the day of the equinox, the time that it begin the season, the time it's conclude the season, so their opinion are not defined. So basically it's the way it's appear in the Braita. They have disagreement between the two Tanaim on this, but it's not clear which one it's what. אחרים אומרים מיעוטו. So others, as we said earlier, there's a Yad Ramah version, it's Rav Meir, but anyway, they said mi'uto, that the year is basically me'uberet, it's a leap year, if the minority of the month, which is enough to make it leap year, v'chama mi'uto 14 yom. So how much is the 14 days? Ma'ika savre, what exactly acherim or Meir hold? Ika savre yom tkufa gomer v'chulei chag be'inan ha'ika. If they hold that the day of the equinox concludes the season, and also that we require all the festival to make place in a new season, so it's basically fulfill even the season is lacking 15 days. וכולי חג בעינן האיקה. So what's the reason they say that you can make it a leap year? אמר רב שמואל בר יצחק, אחרים בתקופת ניסן קיימי. דכתיב שמור את חודש האביב, שמור אביב של תקופה שיהיה בחודש ניסן. So here the derivative of the observe the month of the spring, it means that you have to do the equinox of the spring, so you ensure that it will be the month of Nisan. That the whole idea of equinox has to be doing the first part of Nisan by the 14th, the day that the Pesach, Korban Pesach, the Paschal lamb, the Paschal offering is sacrificed. Veli abrei le'adar. if you add 1 day, 30 days, you can make Adar a interclinated day, meaning that they make it, so therefore the 14th of Nisan will occur properly instead of 15. And you don't need to have all this Ibur. אמר ברכה בר יעקב, תנא מלמעלה למטה כחשי, ואחי כאמר. So the Tana goes basically from the top, maximum number of days to downward. עד מיעוטו, ואחי כאמר, עד מיעוטו ולא עד בכלל, basically מעברין. וכאן מיעוטו 14 יום. So up to the minority of the months, we go by the Aquinas occur during the final day of Nisan. So basically in that case, the rabbinic court will make it the year a leap year. And it's also if the Aquinas will occur earlier in the months. And he said, how much is this 14 days? So it means when you have the Aquinas will occur the 14, the year is not be a Shana Mu'uberet, a leap year, but instead the day should be added to the months of Adar. רבינה אמר לעולם אחרים בתשרי קיימי וכסברי אחרים כולי חג באינן ויום טוב ראשון, which means the first day of the Chag will not be at the new time, no Aquinas, so basically they hold that you need to make a leap year. יום טוב ראשון חג האסיף כתיב. The Torah said in Shmot 32, the festival of ingathering, which is the time of the crop, are gathered. So that's basically the Chol HaMoed, the intermediary days of Sukkot. So since it's prohibited to gather crop on a festival, so the Gemara said, Haba Chag Haba Bizman Aseifa, the festival that comes at the time of ingathering, meaning in the autumn. So the truth is, the Chag itself, including the first day, needs to be at the first of the season. So what you see here, we have several views when it's come to the months of Tishrei, which exactly the date. According to Rabbi Yehuda, Shmuel hold that is the 17th, Kulei Chag Be'inan. Rabbi Yossi said it's 22, Miktzat Chag. Tanakama and Rabbi Shimon said 16 or 17. Rabbi Yehuda said 21, and Acherim that said Rabbi Meir, according to Ravina, is 15. So there's a big discussion among the Achronim how far you go with this Gemara. The Rambam, that's the way I would like to conclude the Rambam. Few Rambams. First is in Ilchot Kiddush HaChodesh, chapter 4. The year is periodically interclinated in order that Pesach will occur during the springtime, as opposed to any season of the year. That's Rambam Ilchot Kiddush HaChodesh, chapter 4, halacha 1. But also, the Rambam said, if after the rabbinic court interclinated the year, on the 30th of Adar, witness testified before another court in favor of declaring the new moon, the court sanctified the new moon. That's basically Ilchot Kiddush HaChodesh, chapter 4, 14. Also, the Shulchan Aruch Orach Chaim 429 said, as we learn, Shoalim Bilchot HaPesach, the people ask about, publicly teach the halachot of Pesach 30 days prior to the festival. That's the Mishnah Berurah said that it's not only in the Pesach. The Mishnah Berurah said, Biur Halacha said in 429 Orach Chaim, that's not only in Pesach but all the other festivals as well, 30 days in advance. Since there are so many halachot, we should discuss it in advance 30 days.